Hello everyone, that manga kid here to let you know what I read for the 24-hour manga love readathon hosted by Shaegeeksout, and it was on Sunday, February 10th from 12 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. I started reading around 8:45 in the morning when I woke up, and I read until about 11:30 p.m. or so. I am really happy with the amount that I read. I think I read 15 volumes, and really, really happy with that. I am currently on medical leave. I was in the hospital for a while, actually. I had a really major surgery, so I was partially involving my left arm and hand, so I haven't really been able to hold books very well, so I was surprised I was able to read throughout the day, and actually keep my attention span on the books without, getting too much of a headache or anything like that. My goal was 5 volumes because I've barely been able to read anything, and I managed to have a really good time, and it kept me busy all day, which is nice because I'm getting really bored sitting at home just watching Netflix all the time. So thank you to Shaegeeksout for hosting this. I had a really, really good time, and I love reading. I love shoujo manga in general, but I just love reading romance stories, so this was a lot of fun. So the first volume I read was volume 1 of Flower in a Storm by Shigeyoshi Tokagi. I got this for $1 used, and I only have volume 1. It's a 2-volume series. I really enjoyed this. This is about this girl here who is she's obscenely strong physically, but she wants to be just a normal high school girl, and she sees herself as a normal high school girl, and then this random dude who is like one of the richest young men in the world or something like that, very, very wealthy 17-year-old guy randomly shows up at her high school and asks to marry her. And so now he's in love with her and follows her around, and there's constant like bounty hunters trying to kill him and consequently her because she's with him. And it's just her kind of being like, I want to be normal and you're ruining it. But it's a lot of fun. I really want to pick up the second volume, and this is just a shoujo beat title. It's not new or anything. It's been out for quite a while. But like I said, I only paid $1 for it originally, so yeah, really enjoyed it. Can't wait to read the next one when I finally pick it up. The next one I read, I also got used for very cheap. It's actually kind of damaged. It's got some juice stains and stuff on it. It was in a lot of books that I picked up from someone. Backstage Prince. Again, this is a 2-volume series. I only have volume 1. This is about a girl who goes to school with this pretty famous kabuki actor. And he's a young guy, obviously, still kind of in training, but he is pretty famous. And so she ends up becoming his assistant. And of course, they start dating. And it's just kind of like their stories of when he's backstage and she's back there because she's his assistant. And it's really good. There she is there. I really, really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to pick up the second volume. I've had this one for quite a while as well. And had never read it, but I really, really liked it. I think it's funny. I think it's interesting because you get a little bit of kabuki kind of atmosphere to it, and it's just fun. And again, another shoujo beat title that's been out for quite a while. So yeah, I can't wait to pick up volume 2 of that. Next, I saved this for the Readathon volume 10 of Waiting for Spring. I had it pre-ordered, so it came in a little while ago, and I waited for the readathon to read it. This is a pretty good, just kind of generic shoujo with a lot of pretty people in it. Not just the boys are pretty, the girls are gorgeous as well. And it's kind of sports-esque because they're on the basketball team, and it kind of focuses around, love rivalry between a few of the basketball guys who obviously have a thing for the main girl. She's quite quiet and just kind of plain and normal, but it's really refreshing. I really like this series. I find the characters are likable, and even the rival characters are likable, and I just really enjoy it. It's a fun one to read. I'm hoping it's wrapping up soon because, 10 volumes, I'm hoping it's like a 12 or 13 volume series max. I don't think this one should go on for, like 20 volumes or anything like that. So I'm hoping it's wrapping up soon. If anybody knows, please let me know down below if you know anything about when this series is going to be ending. Next, another one I picked up, $1 each. I only have the first 3 volumes. This is Monkey High by Shoko Akira. I have read this. This is one of the first manga series I ever read, actually, when I was 13. First one I ever like completely read through. This is an 8-volume series, and I read it from the library back then, and I've wanted to own it ever since and just never got around to it. I found the first 3 volumes for $1 each from someone in a manga lot, and really, really love it. So basically, it's about this girl here who is the daughter of a politician who has recently gone to jail for corruption. And so she transferred from her rich school to this generic high school and meets this boy here who looks and acts kind of like a monkey. And so she ends up starting to date him, obviously, and, she's, in everybody else's eyes, way out of his league because he's just this dorky little dude, short and kind of hyper, and she's this stoic, very gorgeous girl. But it's so funny. It's really charming. It's a lot of fun, and it's only 8 volumes, so I really have been wanting to pick up this whole series for a while. And so for the readathon, I read the 3 volumes that I own. So there's volumes 1 to 3. If you've never read Monkey High and you like shoujo, highly recommend it. It's a fun school romance. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So I'll definitely be picking up the rest of this series, hopefully some point soon. Next, this is another reread for me, Say I Love You by Kanai Hazuki. This is a 18-volume series. I do own the whole thing. I have read the whole thing. I don't think it was last year. I think I read it the year before. But I am rereading it because I really love it. This is it's a bit more smutty than most shoujo, but it's basically this girl. She doesn't have any friends. She's standoffish. She doesn't talk to people. Obviously, most popular guy in school falls for her. They start dating. But it kind of covers a lot of... What I love about this series is it covers bullying, for one, in a very extreme kind of way, and amongst a lot of different characters. It shows like bullying among male characters, female characters, popular girls, unpopular girls. It goes along with all that. Covers a lot of body image, body image issues. It covers self-esteem and all of this stuff. It feels like a very realistic portrayal of high school to me. Obviously dramatized and whatever, but a lot of the issues that these kids are dealing with internally and externally are very real issues that teens go through all the time. And, that's why I really, really love this series. So anyway, I read volume 1 and volume 2 of Say I Love You. Highly recommend this series. If you're okay with more, there is sex in this series. If you're okay with that kind of stuff, it's not like fan servicey sex. It's just like they're teens. They're hooking up with people. They're dating. They're whatever, and it feels natural and realistic. Next, I read, this is a manhwa, actually. This is Dreams of the Days by Kyung Yi. And this is a reread as well. I've read this before. And it's basically about this boy and his 2 friends. And it goes through some dreams that they're having lately. Obviously, it's a boys' love series. And it's basically just about coming to terms with sexuality and, exploring that kind of thing and different opinions about being gay and whatever. It's just a one-shot. It's pretty good. It's not fantastic. It's not mind-blowingly amazing or anything like that, and it's pretty short, but I enjoyed it, and I felt like rereading it at this point, so I just read it for the readathon. Then I read another volume 3 of Say I Love You. Yeah, I already talked about it, so that's fine. Then I read volume 11 of Devil's Line, and this is a bit more of a stretch, but this series really is about romance. It is obviously about devils and, you know, the fight between humans and devils and the legal side of it and morals and whatever, but at the core of it, it's a romance story about these two here. And then also it follows a lot of other romance storylines between other devils and humans and different and then just humans and whatnot, amongst all the side characters and everything. So there is a lot of romance and relationship stuff in Devil's Line, and I hadn't read this volume yet, so I figured I might as well read it for this readathon. Then I read a josei title, Wotakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku, by Fujita. This is volume 2, and these are technically 2-in-1s, but yeah, if you don't know what this is, it's basically a workplace comedy romance story about this is the side couple, but there's the main couple there, and they're basically just all otaku in different ways. There's a couple Fujoshi, and he's just kind of a generic otaku, and then the other guy, the main guy, is a video game otaku. And it's just like generic comedy about their otaku-ness in their workplace and their dating life and whatnot, and it's quite funny and fun and refreshing, so yeah. Next, I read another yaoi title. This is Sleepless Nights by Sachi Murakami. This is another reread. I read this a few years ago when I got it. I got this used as well in a lot. Yeah, it's basically just, I don't know if they're high school or college students. I have no idea. They're in a dorm anyway, and it's this dude here hooks up with this guy and then ends up being his roommate. So it's just the awkwardness of they had a one-night stand and now they're roommates, and this guy is gay and this guy is straight, and you know, kind of coming to terms with things and not being able to sleep because you're awkward and attracted to each other and whatever. It's a good one. I like it. It's fine. It's nothing to write home about, but it's a fun one, and I got it for really cheap back in the day, so yeah. Then I read volume 4 of Say I Love You. I was kind of trying to space it out because this one is a bit heavier topic-wise. It's not as like light and it's not a light and fluffy shoujo by any means, so I was kind of spacing it out throughout the day. And I was gonna read another volume of Say I Love You, but then I felt like reading a more comedic, lighthearted romance, so I read volume 3 of My Little Monster by Robico. I have a very extensive video talking about this series, so if you're at all interested, please go check out that video because I love this series. I started rereading it recently, a few days ago, so I was on volume 3 and decided to read volume 3 for this readathon. But if you want to know anything about My Little Monster, you haven't read it, you're interested, please go check out my video because I cannot say enough good things about this series. And yeah, I've already made a video talking about it, so you might as well go watch that. So that is the last thing I read for this readathon. Again, that's 15 volumes, I believe. I'm really happy with that, considering all things considered with my health and whatnot at this moment. But again, thank you to Shaegeeksout for hosting this. It was a great idea. I had a lot of fun. I love reading romance manga, so this was a really great way to pass the time for me. Yeah, thanks for watching. If you made a video or anything or want to let me know what you read for the readathon, please let me know. Love to watch a video or just read your comment or whatnot. If you have any questions about any of these series, please let me know. Love to talk about them. And yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.